We like sponge because we're not allowed anything sharp. Hutton Orbital. They don't make 'em like this anymore. Health and safety won't let us.
The Hutton Games Room is abuzz this evening as Wilma has brought in her Christmas present. A copy of Settlements and Scavengers. The sound of dice rolling, shouts of "I've got advantage" and comedy sound effect of laser fire fill the games room. Deadmeat GF has been sent to LHS 340 for spilling his pint on the game board. He didn't remember to bring his level up on lovely little legs to lift you. Well, you get the idea. The apology officer has gone off in a sulk, as the scale used for the miniatures does not match Mini North Britain, and is not compatible with one banana. As luck would have it, the broadcast team, playing a particularly perilous campaign, rolled a natural 20 for initiative, at which point they all instantly realised, by way of the GM, Wilma, that they were supposed to be somewhere else, and had just enough time left to get to the studio. As they take their seats and roll to see who goes first on the headlines, Wilma hands over to the second GM of the evening, who says,
"Our mics are live!" Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to the rather cheese-filled, maybe turkey-filled, port-filled last show of the year. I've just about recovered from the food coma I put myself in at the start of the week, and apparently I'm pushing some buttons this evening.
I'm still working my way through the Tyrannosaur-sized turkey.
And I'm chewing on a Wellington.
I've got crackers.
and I might need to go and see Nurth Wyeth later. That bowl of what I thought was nuts was actually all a D6 for the game.
You are going to regret that probably later, maybe 24 hours later. But for now, it's time, I think, for the headlines. Galactic gridlock and friend frenzy, the curious case of the overcrowded cosmos and unsolicited championship.
Post-Yuletide tidings. Or should that be tidyings?
Slightly tepid and mildly untidy, week 73.
Hutton Orbital missing mascot alert.
Epic Zero-G Showdown. Gusto versus floor mapping guy.
A wee glance at the turkeys that are Hutton's lowest systems in this week's BGS report.
First, this evening, parts of the bubble were thrown into chaos after pirates managed to break into the Pilots Federation headquarters at Shinrata Desra and hack their way into the identity servers belonging to the Brewer Corporation. The first indication of this nefarious infiltration was when commanders noticed system after system full of fleet carriers. Not the usual CG infestation, mainly as there aren't any CGs at the moment, but a true backlog of Big Bertha-sized behemoths, and all stating that they were arcs for sale. The second was a report that a number of galactic streamers were reporting massive amounts of friend spam. Now, this was a dead giveaway, as everyone knows galactic streamers don't have friends, they've got subscribers. Okay, maybe that's a little bit unfair. They've got moderators on the chat channels as well. Apart from us, we forgot that anyone needed to do that job, and as a result, have had a number of rather sternly worded letters from the authorities about the behaviour of a certain dead meat GF. With both of these notifications having been noted, the Pilots Federation put their top operative on the case, investigating whether there were actually thousands of carriers clogging up systems far and wide in the bubble, whether anyone other than them was selling arcs, and of course, why so many people wanted to be friends with Fiery Toad all of a sudden. Commander Stott, he who sits behind the galaxy's data servers and makes sure everything from the credits spent with the commodity markets and the bounties handed out to Alex Zuno add up right, leapt into action with a digital beam laser and applied it with wild abandon to the servers. Having dutifully cleaned the server of all miscreants who were dishing out more spam than a student night with the Monty Python Appreciation Society, he was at pains to point out that arcs were actually free. Well, okay, some arcs were free, especially at Christmas, and super especially if you remembered to visit your ship at some point during Advent and open the little doors in your cockpit. Oh, they're also free if you do something. Could be anything. Bounties, trading, a little bit of an exploration. The matter having been cleared up, that leaves only one mystery, the identity of the mysterious Commander Validating, who appears to have been behind this digital problem. Are they a disgruntled former employee of the Brewer Corporation? Are they a gold farming reject from the world of spacecraft? As of yet, no one knows. Though the big finger of suspicion, as always, points in the direction of the dastardly Don Antonacci, never one to miss out on an opportunity to make a quick buck. Or in this case, an arcs.
As the last of the holiday jingles fade into the vacuum of space, Hutton Orbital finds itself in a peculiar state of post-Christmas calm. The halls, once decked with holly and echoing with festive tunes, now resonate with a different kind of symphony. The hum of maintenance droids, the hiss of steam cleaners, and the clatter of recyclable ornamentation being sorted for next year's celebrations. Where there were once festive markets, now only the memory of mulled Centauri gin and the lingering scent of roasted chestnuts remain. The grand tree that stood as a beacon of Yuletide cheer in the main concourse has been carefully dismantled, its reusable bioplastic branches stored away by a team of dedicated environmental officers, ensuring nothing goes to waste. The apology officer, ever vigilant, has their hands full with a backlog of festive faux pas. From docking disputes, where someone's sleigh-sized ship took up 2 bays, to the great tinsel tangle incident that left a pair of commanders stuck in 0G for hours. Each incident, no matter how trivial, is met with a warm smile and a heartfelt, "Oh bother," before being addressed with the seriousness it deserves. In the aftermath of the festivities, the corridors of the Hutton Orbital echo with the ominous whir of Mr. Dustee, the station's notorious cleaning automation. His single-minded pursuit of spotlessness is feared by all, and his catchphrase, "Give me your trash," sends shivers down the spine of even the most hardened space veterans. This season, Mr. Dustee's relentless campaign against disorder has escalated to new heights, with his sensors finely tuned to detect even the slightest residue of Christmas merriment. He patrols the station with a bone-chilling efficiency. Pilots and crew members whisper tales of narrow escapes, recounting breathless encounters with the robot around shadowy corners, where even a speck of dust can spell doom. The Clean Sweep Squad, a fleet of smaller cleaning bots under Mr. Dustee's tyrannical command, scuttle across the station, their brushes and vacuums leaving nothing but sterility in their wake. Their presence is a grim reminder that in the vastness of space, cleanliness is next to godliness. Or in this case, survival. Those who encounter Mr. Dustee learn quickly to hold their belongings tight, lest their personal effects, or dangling extremities, be deemed trash, and ultimately disposed of in his relentless purge. Many a pilot has returned to their quarters to find a disturbingly immaculate, all personal touches eradicated by Mr. Dustee's unyielding standards, and a pair of strange, red glowing eyes, hiding under the bunk. As Hutton Orbital recovers from the holiday season's cheer, the fear of Mr. Dustee ensures that next year's decorations will be hung with caution, and any revelry will be conducted with an eye towards the inevitable, dreaded cleanup. In the cold expanse of space, Mr. Dustee's version of cleanliness reigns supreme. A stark reminder that even in the future, the most mundane tasks can become the stuff of legend. Or nightmares.
After 73 weeks or 17 months in metric of the Too Hot Too Messy campaign, commanders have collectively passed 114,000 deliveries, or about 28% of the forecast total. Numbers are still down, dipping below 1,000 for 3 of the last 4 weeks, pulling the 4-week average to under 1,000 for the first time since the event started. The recent expansion has ended and gin production has fallen back to its normal quota of 11. I hope you all filled up whilst you had the chance, and we'll see delivery numbers recover soon.
The following is a missing persons report posted to all corridors within the orbital. Identification: Alan the Aardvark. Physical description: Alan is known for his distinctive snout, coarse grey-brown fur, and a slightly pudgy build, a result of his affinity for the finer things in station life. His eyes carry a glint of mischief, often sparkling with the thrill of his next find. Last known location: Alan was last seen near the distillery section of Hutton Orbital. Notably, this is in the vicinity of the Megagin storage area, where the intoxicating aromas are most potent. It is located at the furthest point from Cubicle 3. Aardvark noses just aren't ready for the emissions from Cubicle 3. Possible leads: it has been suggested that Alan, ever the connoisseur of botanicals, may have ventured off in pursuit of a particularly enticing scent. There have been unconfirmed reports of a figure matching Alan's general description in the area known as Wanders, where the station's most exclusive relaxation services are provided. A staff member named Juniper is currently under security protection for her own safety. Request for assistance: station residents and visitors are advised to be on the lookout for Alan. However, do not approach. He should be considered extremely nosy and may be in a state of heightened curiosity. If sighted, please immediately report the location to Hutton Orbital Security. They are equipped to handle Alan's safe return while respecting his inquisitive nature. Warning: while Alan is not dangerous, he can be unpredictably enthusiastic in his botanical pursuits. His keen sense of smell may lead him into sensitive areas, especially if they've not been given a thorough scrubbing upon arrival at the orbital. Further information: any updates or sightings will be broadcast via Hutton Orbital Radio and internal communication channels. The community is thanked in advance for their cooperation and support during this time.
Yes. In a scene straight out of a sci-fi action movie, Hutton Orbital's main concourse became the stage for an epic zero-gravity showdown between Gusto the Clown and Floor-Mopping Guy, the station's formidable janitorial enforcer. The confrontation escalated from Gusto's comedic flower mishap, which had splashed vibrant dye all over the pristine concourse. Floor-Mopping Guy, ever the guardian of cleanliness, arrived on the scene ready to restore order. But Gusto, in his characteristic playful defiance, was not about to let his artistic accident be wiped away without a fight. As the station's gravity controls were momentarily under maintenance, read as don't exist, The stage was set for a zero-gravity battle. Gusto, armed with his honking nose and juggling balls, floated nimbly around, dodging the determined swipes of floor-mopping Guy's mop. The janitor, undeterred by the clown's antics, wielded his mop with the precision of a seasoned warrior, his bucket of cleaning solution spinning dangerously through the air. The spectacle was both humorous and awe-inspiring as the two dodged and weaved in the weightless environment. Gusto's nose honked comically each time it was bopped, adding a surreal soundtrack to the skirmish. Floor-mopping Guy, in a display of impressive agility, managed to spill his bucket, causing a cascade of soapy water to float in globules around the combatants. Onlookers watched with bated breath, some cheering for Gusto's rebellious spirit, others in awe of Floor-mopping Guy's unwavering commitment to his duties. The battle reached its climax when Gusto, in a daring manoeuvre, grabbed the bucket and placed it over Floor-mopping Guy's head, momentarily disorienting the janitor. However, the victory was short-lived, as Floor-mopping Guy, in a display of his legendary resolve, quickly regained control of the situation. With a swift move, he retrieved his bucket and, with a series of expertly executed mop strikes, managed to restore order to the concourse, leaving it cleaner than it had ever been.
Things are going through somewhat of an, oh, for Alvin's sake, not Turkey again vibe in Hutton Space this week. As usual, there are 5 systems on Alvin's report, and one of those is lower than we'd like. More on those stories coming up. Hutton won the snap Christmas election in Ross 671 earlier in the week, largely due to the local system administrator persuading all the turkeys to turn out and vote. The election victory gave the system a 5-point bump up to 28 and a third wooden spoon in a row, and pushed the deposit-losing Ross 671 for equality, don't laugh, straight into a war for second place. A further election amongst the hoi polloi leaves only 15% of influence up for grabs, so we can't boost the system, even in the unlikely event that we wanted to. Hard to move Epsilon Indy, still suffering somewhat from the after effects of long mods, gained 4 points to end the week on 35. The 2 wars that locked up the system last week are over now, so it's a good time to get in there and boost Hutton's fortunes. Gaining 3 points in the week is 36 off Yuki, which is sharing a perch with Wolf124 on 38. A point higher on 39 is Narnia, where everyone is still trying to understand why everyone else gets a Christmas. At the overachieving end of the Hutton Systems table, we still have 7 of our systems above 60%, and one of which is over 70. Earlier in the week, we expanded into Hazel, which is very nice but not as funny as waking up at the crack of dawn. Priorities this week are, if you want to chuck something, boost Epsilon Indy.
And we're back in the studio.
And breathe.
And don't breathe out too far. My waistband won't cope with that one. Hello, everybody. Did you survive? Oh, just about. Cough. Did you survive all of the shenanigans?
Well, nothing caught fire, including Blackpool Tower.
No. That was a flappy piece of canvas or something, wasn't it? Or
a flap about a flap.
Orange safety netting.
Yeah, I looked,
extra safe.
I looked at the photo and thought, they're not flames. Weird.
Yes. But I suppose from a certain angle with certain light on them, they might have possibly looked like flames, maybe?
Well, it might be that people wanted it to burn down.
Well, that's a bit mean. It's very pretty at this time of year. I mean,
I'm just speculating on what other people might want.
People.
Why would
who are these
anyone
people?
want that?
Well, the same people that voted for Brexit, probably, because they're silly. Oh no, I've just alienated at least no listeners.
Yes.
Obviously, all of our listeners are sensible or foreign. And anyway, hello, listeners. Now, before we go anywhere else and do the rest of the scripty bits, what kind of week is it this week?
It's a weird week. It's that week between Christmas and New Year where time doesn't exist and everything stands
And
still.
date-wise, in terms of position in the month?
20-something.
Towards the end.
Towards the end, is it possibly the last Thursday in the month?
There's not many Thursdays left.
You're saying the end is nigh.
The end, yes. And now we face the final curtain. No, it is a green room week, which means later on in the show, once we're done with all the rest of the shenanigans, we are going to be inviting people from the green room to pop up and say hello in the on-air room and tell us all about the lovely Christmas goodies that they gave away to everybody else, and all the turkey they ate, and what they're up to. So if you are listening and you would like to come and join us, Flossie, how might somebody come and join us in the green room?
Well, they need to come to our TeamSpeak, which is at ts.forthemug.com, which is a server, not a website.
And so how might you access that server if you're not typing it in as a website?
Switchery.
Gingerly? Carefully? By using TeamSpeak, yes. Grab
TeamSpeak,
yeah, that's the one. Yeah, grab TeamSpeak, and yes, go and join it. I can see a Beetlejude lurking up in the landing pad. I mean, could there be a Beetlejude coming to join us, or is Beetlejude going to go and play games with that lot over there? You know, I don't know. Well, if anybody's seen Beetlejude, we have to find out. Anyway, so
kidnap her.
We could just kidnap Beetlejude. That'd be quite rude, or maybe somebody message Beetlejude.
She said she's loitering.
She's loitering. Oh, right, okay. Well, you could loiter in the broadcast room and listen, or you could listen live here on Gal Twitch, or whatever it's called. Right, so first things first, the Frontier live stream, the one we didn't have last week. What?
Hang on a minute, isn't loitering a crime?
It's punishable by 100 credits.
Pad loitering.
Oh, pad loitering, yes, yeah.
Yes.
She's Jude loitering, it's different.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that's with intent.
In a tent? She's in a tent?
She's, possibly in a tent.
pitched
And it's-
in a tent on the landing pad.
for children go to sleep.
Is it not?
Well, it's later in the show, so just sing lullabies or play them LCU until they scream and go to sleep or something, A
little bit of gin in their milk.
Not recommended if anybody's taking our show seriously, but if you are, you're in the wrong place. Please leave. Do not take the show seriously, or just yes, right. Do not take anything we say sensibly seriously. All over your screen. Well, our Frontier live stream, as I was saying, the one we didn't have last week.
Didn't have this week either.
Frontier? Who are they?
The rumours they masquerade as the Pilots Federation occasionally.
Not for some time.
No, well, there was one of them. At least one of them popped up the other day because there were rumours that something had got a bit pear-shaped on the unlocking modules side of things. And they had to bring out Commander Dav Stott to bash things repeatedly until it worked again. But apparently the universe is working again. You can unlock stuff from the... Well, they're not engineers, they're tech brokers, aren't they? Aren't they?
Yes.
No idea. Didn't experience the issue.
Well, anyway, they've apologised for any inconvenience, and then everybody said, how about my free arcs for the inconvenience? It was a case of, well, prove that you were actually unlocking a tech broker in the sort of 8-hour period it had a problem, and then maybe you'll get your free arcs for locking in that day. So, no. Okay. Now, Commander Chicks, there's a reminder in the scripts here.
Oh, hang on. I've just escaped an interdiction. Yes!
I like picking on people.
Oh yes, I put a note in the chat actually. I don't know if it's the last period because we really haven't had much guidance on how long the Twitch drops last.
Well, I think we did, but we didn't read it. The apology officer read it, and the apology officer is
28 days.
Here.
It's always 28 days.
Ages ago. Anyway, tonight, I was almost breaking into a Queen song there. Anyway, Snowfall paint jobs. Tonight will be the last opportunity probably to get those, and if you haven't got them already, my Type 9 has just landed, My Type 9 paint job, that is. And if you listen to the VOD or the podcast, well, kind of tough because you miss out. You need to listen to the live show. That's how Twitch jobs work. So you could have got an Anaconda paint job, a Crate, a DBX, and if you were listening
a
to
partridge in a pear tree.
Yes, and an aardvark in a pear tree. And if you listened to the show last week, you've probably got yourself a T9. They're quite nice. They're the golden-y ones, aren't they?
Shiny.
Shiny.
Unfortunately, because
It's
I'm
got snowflakes
broadcasting
on
the
them.
show, I can't watch it. Well, I suppose I could in another window, but it would probably eat. Oh, no, I've got bandwidth now. I could do that, couldn't I? Oh, well.
Yeah, you
Never
could.
mind. I might have to send an email very nicely to Chuck Handgun and say, all those... Yeah, anyway. So, Snowfall PJs, Anaconda Crate, DBX Type 9. But if you're not listening to this live, you missed out. No.
That's about the size of it.
Okay. Now, those of you who've been paying a little bit of attention, understand that the Mr. Dustee Bot, not only is he very clean, but he has also been programmed into an air-gapped computer in the station. Air-gapped so the virus doesn't jump anywhere else. But he has been given the task of chucking out new pictures. And you may have noticed some of the new pictures during the news segments. And if you're looking very carefully at the screen, you might see one bottom right-hand corner just now. Because Mr. Dustee was told, listen to the last 5 space news and give us a picture.
So is it all...
Are you trying to destroy this AI?
It must be tit and fart gags, surely. There's no
What? So,
Uranus.
pardon?
There's no Uranus
I do like the fact there's a banana there for scale.
for
Well,
scale.
we might
There's a
have
bunch
to
of bananas.
blow them up big in a minute. But also, if you were listening last week, you may have noticed we had a new theme tune as well for this next bit. Dun, 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 which we accidentally listened to about 5 times over because I was testing the buttons before we went on air, and everyone's going to hit me with things when I play it
My
again.
ears haven't stopped bleeding yet.
Yeah. Well, no, it's quite good. Once or maybe
Very
twice. Yeah.
It's very good. It was just quite loud the first time you played it.
Yeah. Yeah, we have the space news. Unless we have anything else from the real galaxy, we have to go back to the days of... when are we now? 2023? We're looking back in the archives. We have to go back to those days to look at this space news that was going on. Now, hang on a second. I've spotted one that's not in there. So while
we're... It, it's not there.
I know. There's a big
He's
gap.
good at this.
Yes. There's a big gap there that's about a rocket falling over.
Oh, yes.
If anybody, while we're talking, might be able to find that one and stick it in the end there. I think there was
We should have used a bigger bottle, I think.
Yes, a rocket went boom at the end. But we got one of those as well. So shall I try pushing the button and seeing if anything happens?
Oh, if you must.
Do it.
Shall we?
Yay!
And there are new pictures specially for our listener, which I apologise now.
Press the button.
Mr. Dustee's been at the source.
When you don't know where to get more space news, 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 space news.
I think I just found Alan looking at the space news there. He was in orbit.
It's,
Yes.
you turn the volume down. It's actually not bad. In
It
fact,
isn't bad.
the
Yeah,
further I turn down the volume, the better it gets.
These images are hilarious.
Now it's excellent.
Awesome.
Yes, I think that's floor mopping guy. We found floor mopping guy in the pictures. There we go. And there's another picture of floor mopping guy looking heroic as well. There's a lot of Alan and bananas in this one as well. I'm just going to let this loop for a minute before turning it off and switching to the actual space news image. No, that may be the last one.
They have truly captured Hutton Orbital and a typical day on the station.
Yeah, they have. In fact,
Bananas everywhere.
I'm sort of
And an
upset.
explosion on the upper rotunda.
I'm sort of upset those aren't looping, so I'm going to hit the loop button. There we go. There's Alan, and there's Alan and what looks like an owlbear or something, and there's Alan and a rocket and a banana. And there's
I love...
poor Alan. He's lost.
But there's one in the middle, and is it? I can't remember. It was the first one I saw. And something's been. Is it being beamed up?
I don't know. I'm staring at it. There's
Alvin.
There's
I
Alvin.
love the aardvark with the little British flag
Wait.
coming out of his backpack.
And there's an
Where is
angry
he?
David
Coming up
Alvin.
any second now.
There's a rocket, and yes, there's Alan again. And there's Alan being scared by an alien with a little flag on his backpack. There we go. And floor mopping guy looking properly heroic. He's buff, isn't he?
Oh yeah, it's all that mopping. He's got a lot of it to do.
Anyway,
Is that thing in the background being beamed up or falling, or what's going on? And there's a trash panda there, bottom right.
well, see, the trash panda caused a meltdown on the station system, so we were very nearly an infrastructure failure on that one, because I fed the Mr. Dustee Bot instructions about space news and the things that we talk about and some previous scripts, and said, and by the way, Alan's gone missing. Could you find Alan? And so he put Alan in a few of the pictures and said, I think I found Alan. And then he put a picture up that contained a trash panda, and then immediately, without prompting, apologised and went, hang on a second, that's not an aardvark. I said, you're right, it's a raccoon. I'm very sorry, I'll do it again. And then he got into a 9-image loop and then crashed. And all that was on screen was, there has been an error, give me your trash, at that point. And now, unfortunately, the Mr. Dustee Bot that created all these images is offline because he got attacked by a raccoon instead of an aardvark. Look, he's been at the Onion Head, is all I can say. Right, I'm going
Yes,
to
I think he has.
yeah, I'm going to turn that one off now, and we're going to switch up to the first of our space news this evening. No, I've lost the space news. There we go. If I turn that one off first, because it's behind it, and turn the space news on, our space news is from Universe Today. Apparently. What's the first one about, please?
NASA have been testing out an elevator. Apparently, getting in a lift
Is
is
it a
cheaper than using
space
a rocket
elevator?
to launch people high. Well, it's a space elevator.
Kevin Spacey.
Space elevators are a big bit of string from the ground up to orbit, and you put people on it and winch them up.
Yeah, this
yes?
one doesn't go quite that far. Very nearly that far, because it goes all the way up to the top of Starship. So it's not far short of orbital heights, but
And what
Yeah.
can you tell us about this? I mean, the image on screen at the moment is of Nicole Mann
two-
and Doug Wheelock.
yeah. Two guys in spacesuits looking like idiots in a lift, basically, because
It's not
that's
even
pretty much what it
It's
is.
not even a lift, is it? On construction sites, we call that a man basket.
We don't want to know about what you do on construction sites, thank you,
Well,
Chips.
it's just
But yeah, this is the elevator for the HLS, the Human Landing System, also known as Starship with Legs for the moon.
Apparently, given that Starship is 50 meters tall, and that's 160 bananas in Merkin measurements, and the crew quarters are located at the top of Starship, apparently it does need an elevator because that's an awful long way to climb. And it needs a basket. And the purpose of the training is to familiarize astronauts with going up and down in a lift. Mm-hmm. And
I
the
think they
gate
haven't thought
controls.
this through properly.
Yeah, and the latches. And as long as it doesn't stop on floor 11, then they're absolutely fine.
Yes, if they ever make it voice controlled, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, and apparently a NASA astronaut man is a colonel in the United States Marine Corps. Why is he not with the Space Force?
Excuse me, astronaut man is a
she.
woman.
Oh, astronaut man.
She is
Why
Nicole
she?
Mann.
Oh, Nicole Mann, sorry, yes. Why is she not with Space Force? Why do they need
she's got more
Marines to
sense.
test lifts?
Space Marines.
Space Marines, okay. Yeah.
Has anybody ever mistaken you for a man? No, have they? Have you?
Yeah, I mean, there was
from that film,
clearly
wasn't it?
a false nominative
Yes.
determinism in Nicole's name there. That I just read the word man, and yeah, you know. But
Got two
apparently,
ends.
I just hope that Doug Wheelock isn't steering it.
no, it's round and round and round in circles, like a trolley with a wonky wheel.
In fact, with
apparently,
two ends, it looks like ma'am, which would be very
Ma'am?
appropriate.
Mom, yes. Apparently, Nicole
Mind
Mann
your jam.
has spent 157 days in space, and astronaut Wheelock has spent 178 days in space so far, and now they're going up and down in lifts. I mean, how the mighty have fallen. Well, hopefully not. Hopefully the lift works perfectly.
Yes, but just think, when they actually come to use this thing, those will be the lift specialists that everybody else has to defer to.
That's right.
Oh, somebody push button 1, please. Boop. No?
Hang on, is that a US one or a European one?
Or Scottish 11.
There'll be no 13.
I'm just trying to read if there's anything else interesting about the lift. No, it's a lift.
Yeah, basically.
That's about the size of it.
When I read the title and said space elevator, I assumed it was something like going from the surface of the Earth to up in the atmosphere. But
it just tickled me that people were putting on full astronaut kit to get on a lift.
Well, you do have to work out whether your fingers are too fat in the spacesuit to actually mash
absolutely.
One button, and whether you can undo the door to get out, and whether you bonk your head like a stormtrooper on the way out the door. So
where the little hatches to climb out onto the roof. That's what always happens when...
Yeah. Anyway, so Amelia...
Yes.
Mooncake tells me you want to read this one. This one is from the BBC.
Oh, the BBC.
Yes.
NASA's Mars rover celebrates 1,000 days of science.
But has failed to save Mark Watney. Anyway, yes, apparently the Perseverance rover has been roving for 1,000 days now. And I'm just a little concerned. It's drawn a big willy on the moon there. Oh, on Mars there, sorry.
It's something to celebrate, haven't they?
I mean, they've just sort of like, let's draw a knob. Come on, it's 1,000 days of science. Let's just draw a giant knob on Mars. I mean, somebody's got to have been tempted, don't they? I mean, it's a human thing. I mean, the first thing that happened when we got SRVs was somebody went on a moon and tried to draw a,
Mm-hmm.
There's one on the beach this afternoon. Some of the kids have been out and drawing knobs on the beach.
Yes, and I can't read the screen because it's all gone black because I haven't set the thingies up properly. But apparently it's essentially completed the job it was asked to do back when it landed on Mars in February 2021. And it was supposed to survey an ancient crater lake, which it's done. And now it's bored. There you go. Look, there's a little icon that looks a bit like Perseverance.
Looks more like Thomas the Tank Engine steam train.
It certainly does.
But it's also, obviously it's had Intrepid with it, the little helicopter.
Is the helicopter still going?
Yes.
Yes.
They're amazed about how long it's lasted and nobody's crashed it.
Ingenuity.
Well, clearly the storms on Mars aren't as bad as the ones in Manchester.
Intrepid, yeah. Ingenuity, you're right. And it's also got its little stash of, Mars turds that will be collected at a later date by another mission.
We hope.
Well, we hope, but...
Well, we hope because it's going over and over and over budget and they're talking about cancelling it and
but
people are working very hard to not cancel it. And
it's done its
they're
part.
saying,
I mean, can't they just
pump more
upload
money into it
the Mr. Dustee Bot to it and just leave him, doing his thing?
That'd be
what
nice.
harm can he do?
They can ask Mark Watney to come and collect it, but then again, he'd probably just use it as fertiliser, wouldn't he?
Or rip the batteries out for making telephone calls back home or talking to ET or something like that. Yeah.
Swap it out for a roaming sim.
So what's...
I love this comment. This is NASA Mars rover celebrates 1,000 days of science. Not bad when you realise that it originally set out to deliver a pizza in Milton Keynes.
I thought that was Colin Pillinger. Oh, no.
No, a beagle ended up splattered on the face.
Well, no, it didn't actually. I read an article about this the other day that they've now found it, and it looks like it got there safely, but only two of the panels opened up, and one of the panels obscuring the antenna or something. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
But it only cost buttons compared to NASA's attempts. Right, the next one also completely unreadable because I haven't set the doobry up. The next one is HotSat. What? They've stolen our name, HotSat.
Didn't even know we had satellites.
Well, apparently we do. We have the Hutton Orbital Tracker Satellite 1.
Aren't we a satellite?
Oh, we're an orbital.
Well,
isn't that a satellite?
Well, yeah,
maybe.
Well, we could talk about that all night.
Yeah, we could do.
Let's not.
But anyway, HotSat 1 was put up to map heat loss from buildings. Well, actually, that's quite a worthy thing. You know, it's sort of practical science, and was doing so successfully until its camera stopped working earlier this week. Do we know why?
Nope.
Don't know.
Oh my goodness! It's my house.
Can you see it from here?
Yeah, on screen. It's there.
Well,
I can
there
actually,
you go.
I can actually put my finger on it. On crikey, Hotsat's been spying on my house.
And do you need better loft insulation?
If you can
No,
see
it's
your
that big
house,
dark
yes.
spot there. Yes, yeah. No, it must be there. There's the exit. There's the crikey. Anyway, sorry, I'm just astonished there.
I can see my house from here.
I can see my house from a Hotsat. The Hotsat's looking at my house. Anyway, apparently Satvu, the London company behind the mission, does not expect to restore operations, even though engineers are still in contact with the spacecraft. The satellite was fully insured. I imagine making that claim.
What?
Well,
That it was fully insured.
it was fully insured, and replacement will be flown in 2025, but it sadly lost its no claims discount. Apparently.
Yeah, if the camera's gone boom like that, it's probably because it was overexposed to something too hot. Maybe it flew over
It's
dead
David's
meats.
house.
Well, yeah, me in a kilt. Way at the satellite. There's a mental image you did not need this evening.
You know.
No, so apparently, yes, it's broken. And then, this one's a favourite of yours, this next one, isn't it, Commander Chicks?
Is it?
Well, you're were regularly talking about the juiced.
Yeah.
Juiced.
Let me just.
Apparently, it's got a birthday.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
2
yes.
years and 3
It's 2
days old.
years, yes. I just clicked on that and a different story opened. Anyway, there it is. Yes, we've been looking at all kinds of stuff for the past 2 years from this just wonderful space telescope.
That's not from the telescope. That's a Jude painting. Come on, tell the truth. Jude drew that one.
Just
Maybe.
astonishing.
And that one. Pillars of Creation. Yeah. Jude's drawn that one.
They are
That one's rubbish.
incredible, aren't they?
That's not Jude's picture. That one's rubbish.
Inside Science this afternoon. I was in the shed this afternoon. I was listening to Inside Science about 4:30, and they were talking. They basically did a story of 12 Days of Christmas, and one of the things that I think it was number 6 was we've discovered 62 new moons around Saturn. There's now 140.
I thought you were going to say Uranus there. Going to trump us from last week.
All I wanted to avoid talking about last week.
No, he's just mooning a lot.
But 147 satellites around. And
Yeah.
James Webb's obviously found a couple as well. But, go away with your pop-ups and stuff.
That Neptune picture's spectacular.
Yeah, that's what made me think of it. But just, can the listeners... Oh, yeah, some of them on screen, yeah. That's fabulous.
For those of you listening in black and white, we're looking at pictures and going, ooh, at the moment.
Yeah, if you listen on the podcast, you won't be enjoying this part.
No.
Yeah. I suppose we could paste the link in chat for the people listening on the podcast, and then they can hear a beep as it went past.
I suppose we could. I mean, there's one here that's marked old and faint. Which describes Hutton
it's an
Truckers.
extremely distant galaxy.
A fiery
Banter, it's just
hourglass,
one of us.
Tarantula Nebula, an eerie Einstein. What's an Einstein ring?
That is.
Like a cosmic bullseye, this trippy deep space object is called an Einstein ring, named for Albert Einstein, funny that, who predicted that massive objects in space could magnify or lens the light of objects far behind them. The eerily perfect circle is an illusion created by warped space-time.
You can actually see them in Elite Dangerous.
Yep.
You have to line up perfectly with a black hole and something on the other side of it, and it quite basically does that.
Significantly magnifies it to look like a donut. Yep. Bones of a spiral galaxy, ghostly... Oh, look at that one. I mean, the ghostly pillars of creation there.
It's more like the evil claw of creation, that one.
That's a 3-fingered, 4-fingered blobby claw creation. There's maybe a thumb there in the bottom corner. No, that's actually the corner of its shirt. Or spacesuit, I suppose. Galactic collisions and cosmic clashes, knots of galaxies, and a direct image of an exoplanet. That one was quite cool. Yeah. A big red spot. We've all seen the big red spot. Yeah.
Usually in the mirror.
Yeah. The darkest,
Only just
coldest
before you're
ice
going
in
down.
space. Perfect for Centauri Mechagin.
Mm-hmm.
Cloud
small
watching on
cube's
Titan.
all you
You
need.
see, those are all really sharp, right? And then they look at something nearby like Titan. I suppose it's because it's small and it's
Or
really
anything
blurry.
on your doorbell camera.
Yes. Baffling early galaxies, spirals in close-up, wreaths of stars. I mean, there's just... the images are mind-boggling, all of them.
Yeah. It's basically the best wallpaper generator that NASA have ever launched.
Better than the Mr. Dustee Bot that we had before the show, before the Space News.
No, NASA didn't launch that one, though. That's ours.
Yeah, there are no bananas for scale in these, though.
No.
Anyway,
Oh, actually, there was one in the previous one.
there was a banana, a very small
Yeah.
banana. Hang on a second, that dotty
Yeah.
one there, that one there.
Yeah,
There's
that's
a
it. In the bottom
very,
left corner
very
is
small
banana.
banana. Okay, right, okay.
Yeah.
Just there, bottom left, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. So, given that banana's for scale, that's a really big
That's
piece of
quite
space.
big, yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, did we manage to find a link for the rocket went sploot? Was it a SpaceX one? Fell over. Historic SpaceX Falcon 9 booster damaged at sea. Oh yeah, I've found one. Here we go. I'm going to put this one in Space News because amidst all of these great achievements, every now and again we cock up. And here's the cock up. Yes, there it is, standing perfectly upright on the pad. And have they got a picture of it falling over? No such luck. No. Anyway, it fell over. There you go.
At that point.
There's a picture of it standing up, and then after that, the barge it was on wobbled, and the rocket, the unsecured rocket on a barge at sea, fell over.
What
Well,
could possibly go
fancy
wrong?
that.
Yeah. And people are saying, well, why don't they grab it with something when it lands or tie it down? Or well, I don't know.
You
But
try.
the worst bit about it was that the rocket that fell over was the most successful rocket, I think. It was the one that had made the most recoveries and been reused the most times and been the most successful one so far, and they dropped the bloody thing and smashed it. I'm just trying to find out the details, but there were... the Falcon fleet's life-leading rocket completed its 19th and final launch and landing on December the 23rd. This one reusable rocket booster alone launched to orbit 2 astronauts and 860 satellites, totaling 260 metric tons over 3.5 years. And the silly buggers dropped it. Yes, so I suppose it had good service, you know. It was Booster 1058. There you go. That was the one they dropped.
Well, they aim to get 10 launches out of them.
Yeah,
so 19 is ahead of the curve.
Yeah, it definitely did a reasonably good job there. But sort of well done, but you silly buggers.
So basically, it was out of warranty.
Yeah,
They
I'd
took out
imagine
the extended warranty on it. They ticked the box when they bought it on Amazon.
Oh, God. First mistake.
Yeah. But apparently, accidents during use aren't covered.
Oh.
Accidents during use aren't covered.
No, not by the extended warranty. They got the wrong one.
Oh. Anyway, look, I'm going to put our Aardvark. Alan, look, there's Alan. He's back. Oh, I'm feeling so full of dinner. I'm feeling quite slow this week, actually. There you go. There's some more Alan. There's Alan with the rocket ship again. I suppose at the end of the Space News bit, I ought to play the sound again, shouldn't I? And that was this week's Space News.
When you don't know space news, space news, space news, space news, space news, space news, space news.
You know, that's growing on me a bit. Anyway, well, I'm going to hand over to somebody else for this bit, because normally we sort of introduce the apology officer now, but the apology officer's off sulking about Space Glasgow not being the right size to play space board games with. Or eating steak with space cows. So who would like to take over this bit?
Should we do this bit?
Well, mainly because this word wasn't invented or found by the apology officer. I got this one. And it's appropriate because of what happened in the last week and how much eating we did on Monday.
Yeah, oh man.
It's seasonally apt. Okay, I'll do the
Jim, do we have a word of the week?
We certainly do.
And what is it?
It is obrumpent.
And what does that mean?
It means breaking or bursting.
And can you use it in a sentence, please?
I can certainly try. Vanteon was obrumpent after overindulging from the Hutton cheese board at the start of the week.
And for anyone curious, you can now see the spelling on the headline on our Twitch.
Oh, there we go. Yes, you've got headlines.forthemug. Oh, crikey. Breaking or bursting? Yes, that is my belly. Right, so of course the big pregnant pauses here aren't just because I've got a big round belly. They're because the apology officer's missing, and normally we'd be inserting Alan the Aardvark at this point, but there are no Aardvarks.
Aardvark!
As Alan's gone missing. Has anyone seen Alan yet, apart from on the security cameras during the previous bit?
No, we've had no reports yet.
No.
Although there have been a couple of reports from the bar of gin going missing.
Now, the other... Oh, my goodness. I'm struggling. So, normally I'd play a tune for Flossie now. Mm-hmm. Except Flossie. You told us last week.
Yeah.
There was nothing. Before. But there's not even results from a previous week this week, are there?
No. Absolutely no.
So, I mean, do we want the tune anyway?
If you want, but I... Nah.
You sure? I mean, there are many versions of the tune. I mean, there's that one, or there's that one, or there's this one.
Who is this?
That's a new one, isn't it?
Jex? Nope. Mia, the apology officer?
No way, man.
Helen, the mild-mannered CG publisher?
Could be. Hutton Flossie, #1 super gal, oh yeah. Hutton Flossie, Alvin's CG pal. She's got style, a unique style, and a swing that just goes clang. When the form gets rough, she's super tough with a Hutton Flossie pan.
Well, the thing is, we've had a special request in as well from Volcarius Flossie.
Oh yeah.
Okay. There's one we haven't heard for a while.
Oh, Interstellar Initiative.
And as it's Christmas, I mean, we're in the mood for sort of handing out presents.
They don't exist anymore.
Well, should we give Volcarius a Christmas present?
Oh, go. Yeah.
The long one or the short one?
Long one.
The long one.
Definitely the long one.
Go long one.
When the universe is in trouble, bug infestations in the bubble, your home station's burned rubble. What on earth can we do now? Interstellar initiatives. Let Flossie tell you what it is. Then you can get involved with this. You should listen to what Flossie says. Interstellar initiatives. Flossie tells us what she thinks it is. Then you can get involved with this. Now you should listen to what Flossie says.
And Flossie says...
And Flossie says, hello, it's Flossie here with this week's CG news. There aren't any CGs, and there won't be any until next year sometime, probably.
When the universe
No,
is in
no.
trouble.
Stop. Okay, that's the long version. Did I get them backwards? Oh, there was a really long version of that one as well. We actually played the short version. Yes, that was the short version. Maybe towards the end of the show. So, yes, there are no CGs currently. Which makes us sad, Flossie.
It does, yeah. I'm going to be redundant at this rate.
Well, no, what it means is, we have the CCCG of deliver some mugs and gin, for goodness sake,
that, yes.
Commanders. Commander Chicks, just to round off the year, can you just remind everybody what we're doing and why we're doing it as a CCCG? No. Chicks has fallen off his chair. No, he's gone.
No, I was actually on final approach. Just a minute. Let me just press the let's do it this
Panic
way.
button.
No, let's do it the request document.
Press your shirt.
There you go.
There we go. Oh, right.
Multitasking again.
So, what are you doing currently, Commander Chicks, and why are you doing it?
Well, I'm sat in the kitchen doing a radio show. I'm not doing it. We, I say in the looser sense of the word, are supposed to be delivering a Hutton mug and a bottle of Centauri gin, a bottle of Centauri Mega Gin to every single station
And
in
settlement.
the galaxy. Every single station in the galaxy.
Yep. Every commodity market.
I'm not going to say market because fleet carriers are excluded.
So stations, settlement, orbital.
Stations.
Yes.
It's stations in the sense of stations. So all the surface stuff. So when we started this, when I was saying
Many years ago.
they were 178,313 ports when we started this. And since we have started it, another almost another 103,000 have been discovered.
Yeah, I mean, to put it into context, the ones that were originally on the list are the ones the community, as in the current player base, had been to at least once and recorded it on Inara or EDMC. So they're the ones that we had data for.
Yes, that's right.
So we've now discovered or visited for the first time stations and settlements that have never seen a member of the Pilots Federation before, let alone Centauri Mega Gin or...
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, of those
Hutton mugs.
102,000, 103,000, whatever I just said, almost 63,000 of those are through this event. So I said 102, yes. Almost
So we're
103.
bringing the galaxy more up to date than it's ever been.
We are, and at the moment there are 281,000 stations, ports, settlements, ports, if you like to call it that, in the game. And we believe there are another 120,000 or so. We think there are around 400,000. We're not sure, and there's only one way to find out, and that's go visit them all.
Yeah, but I think when Odyssey was first launched, the Pilots Federation said there were around 450,000 landable places. Yeah. But not all of them have markets.
No, that's true. And some of them, I've not come across one where you can't, you can't sell a mug. If you can sell anything, you can sell a mug. I've come across quite a few where you can't sell gin. In
Yeah,
fact,
where booze is illegal, which is
I just found one half
just
an hour ago.
rubbish. Yes.
Yeah, I know.
So you just wave it under the noses and go, no, you can't have this. You bunch of prohibitionists, you, and then scarper before they shoot you.
Should anybody wish to take part who is not already taking part and who doesn't know who to take part, so you can imagine how small that Venn diagram is, you can join in by downloading the Hutton Helper from hot.forthemug.com/download. Download the Hutton Helper. You can choose whichever flavour suits you. Sign up. In fact, you don't need to sign up. You just need to deliver a mug and gin to a station that hasn't previously had one, and it will sign you up automatically.
And in fact, yeah, you can use the online-y version. You don't have to have EDMC. You can use the online-y thing as well. Yeah. There are exactly 100 squadrons who've taken part so far.
Well, there you go.
Which is, quite impressive. And commanders-wise, I mean, there's millions. I think I'm 151st on the list.
304. So we haven't had any new people sign up for a while, to be fair.
So if there are any newbies listening here, all you have to do is go and pick up some mugs and gin from Hutton, go somewhere that somebody's never been before, and you can find that out on hot.forthemug.com under current events and go to Too Hot Too Messy. And you'll see all the places around you, and if it says mug next to it with somebody's name or gin, then it's been done. But if, like me, you've got HIP 11493 near you, where you've got Alvarado Agricultural Estate and Arai Settlement, well, they haven't had mugs or gin yet.
I did notice that Palantir, of all people, Palantir, who never plays, has now passed you.
What?
Yeah,
well,
Palantir has delivered 76 mugs.
Well, I better go and look at
Vantier on 57.
I better go to Bajurara and go to Babu Prospecting Base and drop some off then, or Vendigis. Now, here's the thing. When you look at Vendigis, it says there's one place called Derricas Claim, or Derricas's Claim. That doesn't actually mean there's only one in the system, because what happens is that's the only one we know about because somebody's been there. When you actually get to the system, all of a sudden you'll see about 150 bases there.
Yes.
And that list will massively increase as you deliver mugs.
Well, you may or may not. Particularly if you're in a small ship, so in the filter on the left-hand side on the left panel, on the nav panel, if you click to the left of that, you can see the number of dockable ports, which is sensitive to the type of ship you have and whether you have fleet carriers selected in the filter. So if you put the filter on, just select surface stations, settlements, stations, all the rest of it, but not fleet carriers. It will give you an exact number of potential mugging spots in that system.
There you go. So yes, anybody's not done their bit yet, and you're thinking of something to do between now and New Year, then do go and drop some mugs off somewhere. Just a couple, 10 maybe. Allocation's good enough at the moment.
So there you go. If you look on the main screen on the top left-hand corner, the total just went up by 1.
Did it?
It did.
That's impressive. Anyway, okay, so that's the CCCG, the Community Created Community Goal, to deliver mugs and gin absolutely anywhere in the absence of any real CGs published by the Pilots Federation. Thank you very much to you and to Flossie. Okay, the next bit. Now, I think it's traditional this time of year for them to sort of wrap the year up with a bow, isn't it? Beetlejude and Wotherspoon, to wrap the year up with a bow and talk about it.
Yeah, usually.
There is another event going on, of course.
Oh?
Delivering Christmas presents.
I thought that was finished.
No, that finishes on the 4th of January.
Is that to get jumpers? Is that the one we talked about last week, to get jumpers?
Yeah, you get jumpers and paint jobs and flak cannons.
But not snowman hats?
No, unfortunately not. No. They're all things we've had before. But...
Green jumpers.
If you haven't got your green jumper yet...
Where's the jumper?
Do they only come in green?
That's the only one we get.
They only come in green freebies.
And we know why they don't come in yellow, because we talked about that last week. I thought there was a blue one. Anyway, but
not a green one.
Yeah, I've got the green one. Right. Okay, so I'm going to hit the magic button. Hopefully this is going to launch the Galnet video, and we will be back on the flip side of, hopefully, this.
The Thargoid invasion fleet started arriving in November 3308 as a response to Salvation's firing of the Proteus wave in August that year. It was in 3309 that humanity learned to confront the alien invaders and turn the war around.
With Azimuth in disgrace following August 3308's Proteus wave disaster in HIP 22460, it wasn't long before the galactic authorities started thinking about allowing Aegis to reform. Following Professor Alba Tesro's call for Aegis to be given another chance, Princess Aisling Duval was one of the first politicians to give support to the idea. The Imperial Emperor was reportedly not at all happy with this call for an exception to the Empire's isolationist approach, but after discussions she granted the Princess permission to assist in setting up the new Aegis. With the pardoned Admiral Aidan Tanner having recently left the Federal Navy, and with President Hudson and Prime Minister Mann also on board, Aegis was operational by mid-February. At the same time, Azimuth was doing what it could to re-establish a level of credibility. The rivalry between Aegis and Azimuth resulted in a number of new weapons and utilities being developed.
Azimuth was first to release, even before Aegis had reformed. Its weapon stabiliser allowed more AX weapons to be added to a loadout. Next, Professor Palin released an enhanced Xenoscanner with a much more practical 2km scan range. Aegis's first offering this year was the Caustic Sync Launcher, essential to penetrating the Thargoid maelstroms, but also very handy in all AX situations. Despite the harsh unlock requirements, these modules have become ubiquitous. It quickly followed up with the Pulse Neutralizer. The same technology used to counteract the Thargoid shutdown field was reworked to partially neutralise the effect of the massive pulse that drove back any ships that tried to approach the heart of the maelstroms. With these two modules, it was possible to enter the calm heart of the maelstroms, where the Thargoid Titan hive ships, the command centres of the invasion, are tended by numerous smaller Thargoid ships. And with the addition of Aegis's confusingly named Pulse Wave Xenoscanner, it became possible to locate and retrieve research samples from the Titan hive ships. Seojin A, the former test subject D2, who can feel the Thargoids' thoughts, warned that the Thargoids know what is happening and that we should exercise extreme caution near the Titans. In July, Azimuth held a convention for prospective partners, which received limited support. A tangible result of this convention was the release of the overcharged, gimbaled AX multicannon with autoloader. Like all recent Azimuth developments, this was an incremental improvement on an existing design, rather than anything groundbreaking.
The Thargoids also introduced new weapons into the fight in the form of hunters. These medium-sized ships currently have two known forms, the glaive and the scythe. The glaive's speciality is containment, preventing human ships from going about their business. With amazing acceleration and the ability to damage and disable internal modules, the glaive is by far the most disruptive of all Thargoid ships. The scythe became known about through the high-profile loss of the Dedicant megaship. Members of the Far God cult, long reviled and disenfranchised in the Federation, were in June put aboard the Dedicant, a megaship built by the cult but confiscated by the Federation, to be deported. This turned out to be a mistake. The cult members somehow managed to hijack the ship and jumped off to a system full of Thargoids to achieve transcendence. They got something rather different. Logs recovered from the wreck revealed that the entire complement of crew, guards and Fargod cult members were sucked out into space and captured by a vast fleet of scythe hunters whose sole purpose is to capture humans and take them for storage in the 8 Thargoid Titans. Since the invasion started, but far more thoroughly now, tens of thousands of humans have been abducted by the scythes.
Why did the Thargoids want to take so many human captives? In a leaked recording, Seojin A explained to Aegis that she had detected a modulation in the hive mind. The Thargoids were no longer attempting to gain ground. They were now concentrating on gathering as many humans as possible and storing them in pods aboard the Titans. The reason for this was, and still remains, obscure. but Sio said they were vital for the next phase of the Thargoid invasion. Could this mean they are to fight as a slave army, or that they are to spread some sort of contagion? Aegis's first priority was to rescue as many humans from the Titans as possible. All the work it had been doing to gain access to the Titans finally had a clear purpose. It developed a modification to the Pulsewave Xenoscanner to identify where human captives were being held inside the Thargoid Titans. And at the beginning of October, it released a heavily modified subsurface displacement missile, renamed the Subsurface Extraction Missile, which together enabled the start of a long and arduous task to rescue the captives and bring them back to the rescue ships for recuperation and observation. In October, the first captives were revived and appeared to be in good health. They were, however, kept in strict quarantine until the very end of December, when Prime Minister Mahan authorised the release into society of Alliance citizens who had been rescued. At the time of writing, there has been no report of any untoward consequence of this move.
In parallel to all the work on the Maelstroms and their prisoners, the war against the Thargoids was going well. Once it had been established that the best way to drive the Thargoids back from a system was to prevent them from invading in the first place, the Thargoids dropped back from holding nearly 1,200 systems in May to around 300 by the end of the year. Logistics also seems to have been a problem for the Thargoids. In September, they started growing strange spiky organic machines on 45 planets in systems they controlled. At the very end of October, these organic machines matured as spire sites, which continued to be used by the Orthrus interceptors to collect whatever compounds the Titans need to continue operating. These sites are patrolled by hovering surface vehicles. These are small revenants, which are also found patrolling captured human settlements, and banshees, which are far larger and which can fire volleys of sticky bombs as well as attacking ships with disruption bombs, which briefly take the ship's systems offline. Once again, humans are gaining the upper hand, gradually shutting these sites down. Maelstrom Tyrannus is isolated with no client systems and no spire sites to resupply it. Additionally, Professor Palin has devised a scheme for contaminating the material that's being harvested from the remaining spire sites, in the hope that the Titans will be weakened.
It is unclear what will happen next in the war. The Thargoids are being pushed back, but the Titan systems remain firmly in the hands of the Thargoids, with no indication that any of them, not even Tyrannus, have been weakened. We need a way of driving the Titans out, if the invasion is ever to be completely repelled. A big unknown is the reason the Thargoids are holding all those captives. Sio says they are vital to the Thargoid war effort, but so far the Thargoids don't seem to have done anything with them, and thousands of them have been safely recovered. Whatever it is, has the Thargoids' next move been prevented by our swift action in rescuing the captives? Or will Prime Minister Mahan find out that releasing the recovered captives wasn't such a good idea after all? An end to the Thargoid invasion seems tantalisingly close, but without a clear understanding of what the Thargoids are trying to achieve, it's hard to be sure what victory looks like.
Was a spoon. Thank you to Commanders Beetlejude and Wotherspoon.
Yes. I mean, that was part one. It sort of implies there's a part two. Potentially.
But
part one went all the way up till last week.
Part 2 will be the politics or something like that, maybe the election.
Oh, the non-Thargoid bit.
Yeah.
I did just ask the Mr. Dustee Bot what the potential risks to humanity were. A scenario where Thargoids, a hostile alien species, capture a human and hold them in Titan-class ship before individuals rescued poses several potential risks to humanity. Number 1, biological contamination. Well, we covered that one, didn't we? They might have caught
pretty much.
like Thargoid lurgy or something like that. And then it's just given me a picture of a raccoon. Right, okay, that's it. So basically the answer is 1, biological contamination, 2, raccoons. Oh well. Okay, so it's about that time in the evening where we need to switch to the green room, I think. So, have we got anybody in the green room? Yes, we have. Oh, we've got a couple of guests in the green room. Rather than going up there, which is a complete faff, should we just let them in the studio?
As long as.
And has anyone got access to the Volcarius bot?
I have it somewhere. I used to have it somewhere.
Right, let's grab. I'm going to grab that one. There we go. I've grabbed one there, and I've lost the other one. Oh no, he's let himself in. Who gave Volcarius a key? Oh my goodness! And did we say Beetlejude was or was not? No, I think the attack of the killer children at bedtime. We're too excited for Christmas. Has nuked. Oh no! I've got more answers from Mr. Dustee Bot. It's not raccoons, by the way. Number 2, psychological impact. They can be traumatized by the experience, and intelligence and counterintelligence. They might have been exposed to Thargoid technology, and double-edged sword. On one hand, it can provide valuable intelligence on the Thargoids. On the other, raccoons again. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. We're trying to work out new and interesting ways of probing us or something. Right. Okay. Well, welcome to the live studio to our guests. Did the Volcarius bot do the thing?
Yep, the Volcarius bot data has been spammed into the chat in TeamSpeak.
Fantastic. Well, in which case, I'm going to hand over to our first interviewer to interview their first interviewee.
Which is Chicks to Volcarius.
Hi, Volcarius. How are you?
Quite well. Good evening, Hutton Orbital. Can you hear me?
No.
Hello, Volcarius. How are you?
Was that a no? If that was a no to can you hear me, then you're an ass. I was going to say, well done all for another year. Ubrumpant with fatuous flim flam flap doodle. But evidently you're not quite done.
Of course not.
I can flim flap flap doodle with the best of them all year long.
Anyway, did you have a good Christmas?
Oh yeah, I had a very good Christmas. We took a kind of break away from the Thargoid War for Christmas, so it was pretty good.
Right. What did you do instead?
Also kind of.
What did you do instead?
Well, I know Little Grey made you a thing. I did sequence the thing I had in mind for the space news, but it's not done yet. There are various things still aren't done yet that I got around to.
Anything else? No.
Well, yeah. So also, it wasn't so much a Christmas break as it was due to the recent fishy frontier fiddling. We're waiting until the 4th, and before we'll know if we have a plan. We have to see what they do and what the Titans do and how they attack. In the meantime, I have been enjoying some Everspace 2. Have you seen Everspace 2?
No.
Oh, right.
Who's in
it's
it?
Great.
I have.
Yeah, it's a modern.
Stunning.
Yeah, I would call it a modern Freelancer. Have you seen Freelancer?
Oh, long time ago.
Yeah, very, very, very long time ago. A Freelancer type space story, mostly in space. It's got some like planetary and indoor areas as well. I would say mission and loot system from Borderlands. Attributes and skills, kind of more like Diablo, Torchlight, Path of Exile, that type of thing.
Was that, what was it, Privateer? Do you remember that?
No.
Privateer 2, The Darkening. It had, who's the fellow with the big cheekbones? What's his name? Not Rufus Sewell, the other one. Clive somebody in it. And Amanda Holden.
Sinclair?
No, not Sinclair. Clive
Owen.
Clive Owen, yes.
The Clive Owen, wasn't he in Privateer the Darkening? Wasn't that Clive Owen, or was that somebody else? Yes. With Danny Bair as the voice of the computer and Clive Owen as the Sir Lev Harris.
And Amanda Holden was in it, and somebody else. It was quite good.
But back 30 years ago.
Yeah, that's right, in the 90s. It was good for its time.
At Aiden in the chat, that's Everspace 2. I was not talking about Starfield. I've not played that. But yeah, it even has those. I don't know how much you've played action RPGs, but those items that open up challenge zones, they've modelled that very well off of maps in Path of Exile, that type of thing. The equivalent of your class is the ship you're flying, which you can change at a ship dealer. So that gives you your abilities unique to that type of ship, and the base hull and hot speed and hard points and such. You've got pilot passives. All the ship systems and weapons are your gear. You have these device slots, which is basically space spellcasting, consumables and such. So I definitely recommend Everspace 2 for any fans of space who want something different. If you're coming from go on.
I noticed tonight, it could have been last night actually, probably last night, 4 questions about computer games on University Challenge.
Oh.
And the first
there
one
were,
was...
yeah.
Was it tonight, Flossie? Was it last night? I can't remember.
Last night, I think. Yeah, last night.
And the first one was, of course, which... he did give the date. Was it 98? Where did Gordon Freeman appear?
Gordon Freeman, Half-Life.
Yeah.
I think that was it 98 or 97, somewewhere around there, yeah.
Yeah, it was about that, yeah. So,
Yeah, it was 98 they were talking about.
God, I remember those days.
That was a good time. You had 98, that was like Unreal Tournament.
That's when I started Air Warrior. Was ahead of its time.
In fact, I was playing Privateer the Darkening in about 98.
No, it was early. Privateer was earlier than that. Privateer
was, but
Privateer the Darkening was while I was at university, and I started the company in 97.
Well, it could only have been a year earlier then.
96
were good though, because
96, yeah.
Because we had, I think Quake 1 was something like 94 or 95. Kind of around the same time as the National Lottery started.
I reckon I was probably Command and Conquering in those days. Was it Tiberian
Oh,
Sun?
yes, Tiberian Sun, definitely.
Yeah.
That's around the same era.
Yeah.
I can now hear Frank Klepacki's songs in my head. Well done for that.
That and a bit of Age of Empires.
Oh, do you remember what was that
Evil
Microsoft
Tonic?
one?
What?
Rise of Nations.
Oh, I don't remember that one.
That was brilliant. You play a whole game in a lunch hour.
Okay.
Anyway, that's a quick trip back from memory lane.
Definitely, yes.
That's back when you used to have to write your own auto-exec bat and config sys files. To
and you had to use your high mem and to get everything
Those
running.
were the days.
Well, 96 was Duke Nukem 3D was released. Let's have a look. What else do we have? Super Mario
Shock.
64.
Oh, System Shock.
System
was like
Shock. That was
94, wasn't it?
Yeah, Tekken 2.
If you haven't played if you got on Steam, the new version of System Shock, which is an update of the original game, has a free demo level. And when you get to the end of the demo level, you have the option to buy the full game, but you can play the entire level. It's very good. It takes me back.
And Myst came out then as well.
Yeah, Myst with a Y, wasn't it?
Yes. And Bullfrog's Theme Park.
Oh yeah, Theme Park. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Command &
play it,
Conquer Red
I don't
Alert,
remember.
Quake. Yeah. Civ 2.
Yeah.
Oh, they're classic. Worms.
Oh,
We are worms, we're the best, and we're going to win the war. Anybody else remember that song, Get a Earworm Now?
I remember in the what naughty truckers would do in the chat in worm, they would type "No, that's my last worm" in the chat, and of course it would make that ping sound, so you can't not look at the chat. And of course it's not their last worm; they're being a lying trucker.
Filthy,
we'd
filthy
never do
truckers.
that.
Remember Lemmings?
oh yeah, I used to love lemmings.
Enjoy Lemmings.
Yeah.
Let's go. Oh, this is a nostalgia. This is a nice way to spend the end of the year. Is nostalgia on games of yesteryear. Yes.
It's not what it used to be, though, is it?
What? Nostalgia? No.
Nostalgia, no.
Okay. One question before we ask Chicks to ask Volcarius for his final comment is Volcarius.
Yeah.
So these captives, by the way, as you're our resident expert, yes. Obviously, we have our verdict on what's going to happen to the captives. Zombies. 28 days later.
He means guess.
Yeah, chest bursting, that kind of thing. Innocuous or dangerous?
It's going to. Just going on Frontier Track record, they'll probably give you a CG which is going to be competing and go one way or the other, and whichever commanders choose, the other one's going to be the better option. Like that's happened too many times now, so that's probably what's going to happen. It's probably going to change based on what commanders do, is my answer to that.
Rampaging outbreak?
At the moment, it seems more like not so much an outbreak, but if they've done something psionic to the ones from the Titans, kind of like how CO Genii has a space magic.
Amelia's our resident expert on psionics in scenarios, aren't you, Amelia? You made me touch your obelisk once.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Yes. And things happened.
Strange things.
Yeah, they did. And then the second time I touched your obelisk, it hurt my head.
As for that, actually, I'm going kind of a bit back to the Galnet News Digest video. I think it feels like we're halfway. It feels like the halfway point. So, kind of by one measure, if you look at the new hunters, I think the plan is for 4 of them in the end. So, and we've got 2 at the moment.
Right.
If you look at all the other types of Thargoid, you've got 4 types of Scout, you've got 4 types of Interceptor.
So you think they've got some in the bag waiting to come and jump out from behind the scenery at you next time you go and explore something after patch 18?
Probably plans to add 2 more space and 2 more land. Because remember, we've also got 2 land ones now as well.
3?
Yeah, 3 with Errol.
So
you can't ignore Errol. Errol will get really upset. Errol, the little scavenger.
Set his big brother on you.
Yeah.
We had the scavengers before. That's true, I suppose. But then, we kind of had the Orthrus before in a way. And there's a couple of outliers. But we've had, in terms of new products, if you like, we've had 2 new ones. 2 for space and 2 for land. In terms of how we're doing with systems, it feels like we weren't quite supposed to do the things we did in November.
Right. Please elaborate.
Well, the reason for trying such a thing, other than being handed the ability to do that via the Spire sites and how they give you percentage progress for the outer 10 systems. Obviously, being percentage progress, that we immediately thought, okay, let's add up the remainder. Like, what do we need with that progress to be able to take the whole thing, like to eat one of the maelstroms? The reason for doing it was that experiment we did earlier in the year, where we found that Maelstrom Ligong or Titan Ligong didn't attack. Then, of course, it was a bit of a weird order of events, I suppose. So Tyrannus was cleared first, but all the systems within 10 light years around Tyrannus were cleared at the same time, or well, close enough to the same time, which puts them on a cooldown for being attacked again. Meanwhile, during that cooldown, as I mentioned in the chat the other week, we did actually clear Ligong. Actually, I think Wotherspoon mentioned that as well. That's true. We did actually clear Ligong. No, did he? No, it was somebody else. But the immediate response to that was that it attacked our test system. Because our test system was cleared months ago. It was the only possible target. So that kind of told us early that the Titans actually could attack. What we don't know is the specific conditions that make them do it. The reason we don't know that yet, we know that they don't just attack because we have Haddad. Haddad had 2 targets for a very, very long time that it still didn't attack. So one possible outcome is that Titans only attack last. Another is that they only attack if they've got nothing else. So if they attack last, we're kind of screwed at the moment in the sense that we don't really know what we're going to do next. We need some story to happen first, which is kind of what I meant by but there's more to come, and we jumped the gun a little bit. If they only attack when they've got nothing else, we still can't get rid of them, but we can kind of do a version of our original plan. We could clear, for example, if you take, with Tyrannus and Ligong, we'll have to let them recover before we need them to take a spy site back, so that we can then proceed to take it back from them. To do anything there. But we can do Maelstrom Haddad, but we'd have to leave some containment systems. Something to stop the Titan continuing to attack, if that turns out to be the case, which we'll find out in a week's time. But either way, that's kind of like whichever route it turns out, that's why I think that we're not done, and it feels more like the halfway point. If that was enough elaboration.
Halfway. Whoa, that was a very long answer to a very short. Yes.
Would you like a shorter answer?
We're all doomed.
Well, Carius, is there anything else?
No, thank you all
There you
for the show.
go.
Hail the Empress and for the mug.
Thank you very much indeed. We're going to have to rerun the thing because we've got a late entrant who's burst through
I'm already
the
on
doors.
it.
You're on it. You're
Yes.
on it. Excellent. Well,
I saw him up there, so I dragged him down.
Yeah, just while the machine's running through the new permutations and combinations, Amelia.
No, carry on through them. I'll add him on the end.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. So no, it's Flossie's turn now.
Flossie, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. I'm handing over to you, Flossie.
Okay, so Jackman, how you been getting on?
I've been alright actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, working hard. Had the week off.
Oh,
Playing the
good.
Max Elites. Be playing a lot of Star Citizen.
Oh, right.
Been trying to play it.
Yeah.
And that's about it really. All my mates
Yeah.
have gone away, so I'm on my own now.
All right.
I thought I'd pop in and say hello to you lot.
Hello to you.
You're never
too.
on your own with Hutton.
I know that. But I'm trying to get back onto Elite with my Commander Jackman in the Hutton, but for some reason I can't connect. I cannot connect.
Oh.
So I've tried Frontier, and they're saying, yeah, you're there, you're on. No, I'm not. Can't do it. I don't get no emails, no nothing. So I'm stuck.
Oh. Sounds like some sort of connection problem or something. Well, so they say you're connected in.
Yeah, I mean, they know my email, they know my password, they know everything. Exactly where I was, I'm part of you lot. Next thing I know, can't get in. So, I don't know. But I will get back in sometime, hopefully.
I hope so. Suppose they're usually pretty good for things like that.
Yeah, because I want to start doing the mug bit.
Yeah.
I've looked on the little website bit, and I've got a question for Chits. What is the red markings on the website when it says no mugs?
Whereabouts?
The one with a little stack of coins with a cross through it, it's all in red. Yeah.
Yeah.
That means there's no market usually.
There's a place with no market. Yeah.
Right. See.
Or the market's offline, and it can be that's a temporary offline because of war or something that brings the market offline. Yeah,
it's different. Has a different symbol when it's offline.
Does it?
It looks like a postcard. I haven't quite figured out what it is.
No.
But it's like a sort of parallelogram, little icon, which when there's a conflict or something like that going on.
Oh, well, of course, I found a Banter system that has nothing on it at all. No mug in there, no gin, no nothing. So I've got 23 of them to do. I thought, I'll do that when I get back online.
So who was it? It was Sinister. Was it Sinister Hedgehog went in one the other day? It had 166.
Oh God!
Nearly broke him.
I bet they did. Anyway, that's me. That's me done. Full of mug, and take care, everyone.
Thank you for the book.
Lovely to hear from you, mate.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Rolling back past all of the other messages, it is Amelia to Van Tian.
Hello, Dave.
Hello.
How are you? Did you have a good Christmas?
I'm going to say yes.
You're going to say yes, but does that mean yes?
No.
Oh well, why not?
Well, no. I'm not on a downer. No. I've had a lovely Christmas. I've spent time with family and some lovely prizes and given away lovely prizes. And I'm going to leave it there because.
What did Santa bring you?
What?
What did Santa bring you?
Oh, his mighty sack. No. I got a new supplement for the D&D.
Oh, what supplement?
I got Mordekainen's book.
Okay.
On monsters, which was good.
Is it good? Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Apparently, it's been superseded, and they've merged it with Volo's one, and so it's already been superseded and rebalanced. But I don't care.
Beefy, is it?
Because it looks good. And I got a big bag to carry all the D&D bits in for when I go up and see Commander Rampage up in Halifax, whatever else, for a bit of a sesh. But it's big enough, the bag, that it's got all the Traveller in it too.
Ooh.
And the dice tower and all the bits, so I get to geek out properly.
Which was. If you're going to do it, if you're going to geek out, you got to do it properly.
I scandalised my family because I was bought a hat, and I've got an enormous melon of a head, and so they bought an XL, and they've realised you can actually put my whole hand sideways between my head and the hat band, and it was about 20 sizes too big. It would have fit the Elephant Man, I think. So my hat doesn't fit. It sort of sits on my head. I look like a small child wearing this thing. It's a very big, wide-brimmed hat, and
you can get those. You can get those.
Paper towel, roll it up, and put it in there.
No. It's even bigger than that. I can fit my whole hand sideways between my skull and the brim. You could fit a small child's head in alongside mine.
You can get those hat adjusters where it sits on top of your head like a crown, and then you put the hat on.
No,
on the ground.
It really. I mean, we're looking Jamiroquai special here, on top of my head.
What size is it?
Well, it says XL, and but apparently
proper size.
Oh, no. I'll have to look it up. But anyway, that's gone back. I love a new watch from Mrs. 21.
Very nice.
Yes, I killed the old one, and all sorts of little prizes and good fun. I got a new camera for the next ECM. A remote roving camera for the next ECM from my brother and sister-in-law, which was lovely. So yeah, lots of little goodies, and I spent all of Christmas Day cooking.
As did I can relate.
Yeah, well, only because your bird was so big that it needed all day to cook. But I think I got up at 6, and so we ate at about 2, and between 6 and 2 I was in the kitchen. And then after about 2:45 I was on the sofa and couldn't move. So yeah, in terms of sort of family, my mum came round, and it was good fun. I spent also most of it in the gym as well.
Gym?
Yes.
At Christmas?
Well, before and after. Yeah. Well, I noticed that when I'm not working on site, I'm not doing any exercise. I thought I might as well build up an appetite, and I've been listening to audiobooks, so I thought I might as well go listen to an audiobook sat on an exercise bike or walking in a straight line a lot. So I did.
And did it work?
Well, I'm tired now. Having been today as well, yes. I mean, so is the gym working out for you, David? Well, I feel tired a lot, and things ache. That's the only noticeable change after 4 weeks of going a lot to the gym is, yes, I hurt lots. So yeah, it's incredible good fun, and managed to get my son a laptop, so I then spent hours setting it up for him. Mm-hmm. But he needs it for college and stuff, so yeah. And got Mum a shoehorn.
A shoehorn?
Yes. Well, she's getting to the age these days where she can't. Yeah, a big long one and a stick. It's about a metre high, so she can put shoes on without, because she's a bit broken at the moment. I mean, I did take her to go and see Mandy Patinkin like a month ago, but for Christmas. But had to wrap something, so I got her a shoehorn, a token gift, you know. So other than that, so just full of food and doing not much and contemplating unemployment.
The real meaning of Christmas.
Yes, absolutely. I am Tiny Tim. No, I'm not. I'm Scrooge. But yeah, it was nice. I'm not a Christmas person much normally. And I've been playing with
more a Saturnalia person, Yuletide.
I'm a celebrate New Year and the company of friends kind of person, you know.
Yeah, I can relate.
And I've been playing with the Hutton Mr. Dustee Bot.
I have noticed.
And asked him to describe members of our community.
With hilarious results.
Like Flossie.
Why haven't you been showing these?
Not on. Maybe I should have put them in the credits if I'd had sense, but maybe next week. But apparently, it says Flossie here is a character with a wise and kind demeanour, characteristic of someone who has a wealth of experience navigating the vastness of space. Her hair is short and grey, neatly styled in a way that suggests practicality and order. The glasses perched on her nose give an intellectual and discerning look, hinting at a person who is knowledgeable and perhaps enjoys sharing that knowledge with others. Absolutely during the show, if only there were some CGs. Her facial expression is one of calm attentiveness, and her attire appears functional, suitable for a commander who's ready to lead or lend a hand in operations or during a community event.
So wait a minute, you made the images have been made for all of...
No, I fed the Hutton bot a picture of the hollow me of Commander Flossie, and said, describe Flossie. Admittedly, it's also had all of our scripts going back about 2 years as well. I mean, the apology officer, apparently the apology officer's one, I fed the picture in it, is critical to the smooth operation of Hutton Orbital by plastering over all the cracks between Hutton truckers and their neighbours by way of fulsome and entertaining apologies, whether that be mugs lost to rapid unscheduled disassembly or of delivery craft, mistaken identity, someone getting red on them. I wonder where that one came from. Yes, pad blocking. Leaving a ship parked on a pad whilst you pop to the loo. I didn't even know that the Hutton Dustee Bot knew the word loo. Anyway, or for a snooze or to the shops, meaning no one else could dock. Accidental invasion of a settlement to obtain cat videos and similar. It seems to have got the essence of, yes, apologies. The apology officer is also known as representative from North Britain, the bit above Hadrian's Wall, and has a penchant for bad aardvark jokes. Space News, the number 11, and making itsy-bitsy little scale models of things. The apology officer is also from Glasgow, so has a borderline indecipherable accent and types so loudly during radio shows that it sounds like a marching band full of drummers. And that was the Hutton Dustee Bot.
It's disturbing, isn't it?
That is scary.
Yeah, and this is all just from script and words.
Did you get us all done?
No, I've only done 2 so far.
Oh, God.
So yeah, I mean that was a fairly accurate description of the. So that I've been messing around with that in my free time. There you go.
That's kind of cool.
Right. Other than that, what am I doing? By the way, because I'm not going to be out at New Year on Monday or Sunday to Monday, there is a possibility I might just do a random gaming live stream for Hutton truckers that are all on their lonesome at New Year.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like cool. Fun.
Which will involve drinking and trying to invade a settlement or something. I've not been to one of those Spire sites yet, so I might have to ask Volcarius, where can I go on New Year's Eve to get killed by Errol and his friends?
That sounds like a lot of fun. Let me know if you do.
Yeah, I might do. I'm contemplating it at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah. But other than that, for the mug.
For the mug.
That means it is now me to Chicks. So, Chicks, how are you doing?
Very good.
Is that it? Just good? One word? The entire of Christmas summed up in one word? After all of the effort that we put into these amazing, fabulous scripts every week? And you give us one word?
Well, you asked. I answered.
Yeah, fair point. So did you get anywhere nice for Christmas? Wales, London, in between?
I've been in Wales since, certainly the week before Christmas, 2 weeks before, I think, actually.
Nice. Have you managed to dodge the dodgy weather?
Yesterday was pretty grim, and this morning, but we walked up the beach this afternoon and it was blowing a bit of a hoolie. So big waves.
Yeah, it's some serious movement of air going on, isn't there, at the moment?
Yeah. So, sorry, I'm just failing to land on this this settlement very efficiently.
Sorry, you're failing to land very efficiently, or you're very efficiently failing to land?
I came in too hot and fast, and so we're nearly there.
Well, at least it's turned into being too hot and too messy, so it's on pitch.
Right.
If at first you don't succeed, crash and get to the rebuy screen.
That's better. So yeah, we're probably not going to be here too much longer since the tenants upstairs in London have managed to flood us again.
Again?
That's 3 times this year.
Congratulations.
So we'll be heading back to find out.
With your wellies and your waders.
Well, we had some friends stay in the week before Christmas, and we got the text, "Why is the bed all wet?"
We don't want to
There
know.
are many answers to that question, of which only some are broadcastable.
Well, the answer was bastards.
And believe it or not, that's on the broadcastable side.
Yeah. So I'm going back to sort that out shortly.
Well, you have my commiserations on that, but good luck with it.
I'm going to paint it myself this time, I think.
Paint it? The bed?
The ceiling.
But
Little
with special
stains.
waterproof paint?
Well, no. I've had words with the landlord.
Yeah, that works.
Were the Anglo-Saxon words of the 4-letter variety?
It's remained civil so far. It's a strange blend of tenants who don't give a shit, the landlord who doesn't maintain anything, and a management company who just get in the way, just try and block you at every turn. So,
well, that's the management company's job generally, isn't it? That's what they always seem to do.
well, I've told them if they won't give me access to the block next door on a fob, or they won't force the tenants to connect their speakerphone to anything useful, or they won't give me mobile phone numbers, I'll just go through the door. Got 3 glass panels.
Yeah, should be easy enough then.
Easy, simple. And I'll go through their front door and turn all the water off and then nail the door shut. Bastards.
No, nailing the door shut's not the way to do it. It's easy to pull nails out. No more nails, the door shut. That's much more effective.
Well, no, when you knock them in right, you don't get them out.
Embrace the power of both.
Anyway, I've vented my spleen just before Christmas, and don't think the management company are talking to me anymore. Which
sounds like you did it right then.
Well, the trouble is they're absolutely useless. So, and I told them as much, and why. So
yeah,
all that fun to look forward to.
Joy, joy, joy.
Back to rust busting.
Yeah. So when do you get back on board and start scraping rusty bits off?
Well, probably the 8th. Go back.
Well, that's not too bad.
Yeah. Been rust busting this afternoon, making some brackets.
Hanging shelves or?
Staircase in the garden.
Oh, yes. Your dodgy stairs.
Well, no longer dodgy. They're about 50% steel now. So,
nice.
Yes. Making other stuff as well. Leather and more steel. Tap tools, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Painted my wheelbarrow.
I saw that on Facebook.
It was getting a bit rusty. It's not very old, so all the paint had come off, so I thought, right.
That's what wheelbarrow paint does, though. I mean,
Yeah,
it's not like people treat them gently.
Well, this one's...
But it didn't look like the tyre on it was flat, which is worrying.
Well, I've got 3. I've got 2 spares in the shed.
What, wheels or barrows?
Wheels, because I took the wheel off the last one. I salvaged it, so I'm be like a Formula 1 pit crew next time I get a flat tyre on the wheelbarrow. I once moved a ton of sand up the hill from the bottom of the drive, which is probably about 100 yards and about 50 feet vertical.
Mm-hmm.
And the tyre was leaking air. So every time I got to the top, I had to pump the ruddy tyre up, run down to the bottom, slug up the hill, only to find out the ruddy tyre was flat. And it was like 25 trips. It was a long day.
Yeah. Last time I was barrowing sand from the front of the house where it was delivered down to the back garden, which is 8 steps in 3 little flights. I managed to jerk the barrow around so much that the wheel came off it. Apparently it had been supplied with a normal nut, not a lock nut, and it had decided it wanted to leave.
Unwound, yeah.
Yeah.
A bit of thread locker.
Yeah, so it's been better since I put a decent nut on it, and it's stayed on this time.
There's a lot of pinging going on.
Yeah,
as I learned to my
because they can't read.
Disadvantage at the gym, you cannot have loose nuts. It's painful.
Yeah,
especially not when cycling a lot.
Yeah, especially on an exercise bike.
Anyway,
I'll take your word for that.
For the mug.
For the mug. Right, scrolling back. Next is Flossie to Amelia.
Hello, Amelia.
Hi, Flossie. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
I am sick of turkey.
Oh, what?
I'm sick of turkey.
Well, what sort of again?
I think so. Do
you know what? I haven't had any turkey.
No, not at all.
No, we had chicken. We prefer chicken.
Well, the thing is, normally this is the first year we've ever had a turkey dinner. Sandrine came up to me. She plonked a 6-kilogram turkey in front of me and said, "I want a traditional Christmas dinner." So
to be fair,
turkey.
Still eating the leftovers 5 days later is tradition.
Well, we're still on the turkey.
We had
and
the
it's
last
been
of the
turkey
chicken
since
today.
Sorry?
We had the last of our chicken today.
Well, that lasted well.
Well, it's bits and pieces of it. We had a bubble squeak for lunch on Boxing Day and yesterday.
Oh no, we've
had the curry tonight.
We've had turkey for lunch and dinner ever since Christmas Day, and we still have turkey left.
Oh, that
We're
would
still
drive
getting
me
through
nuts.
it. So I made chicken.
Dry.
Well, it's not the when I cook it. When I cook it, it's really moist. You cook it right, you know.
I don't know. I prefer chicken.
I've had turkey curry. I've had turkey soup. I've had everything turkey. Turkey sandwiches, and Mooncake has had nothing but turkey since Christmas Day. I'm really sick of turkey. But no, we had a good Christmas. You know, I got those extra sized big plates. You know that like what they have in Toby's Carvery when you order the big plate.
When you want a big one, yeah.
We got a couple of them in, so that when I did the Christmas dinner, it could be all proper. I did steamed veg, broccoli, cabbage, green beans, asparagus. I did mashed swede. I did Yorkshire pudding the size of normal sized plates, and I put all the veg in that. so it was great, but I am sick of turkey now. But
yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I am great.
Good.
Christmas was fantastic. Had a great Christmas. Got lots of gaming stuff. Played Elder Sign, which is a tabletop card-like game.
All right.
Call of Cthulhu RPG books. A T-shirt that says Dungeon Meowster, and it's got a picture of a kitten with a D20 that's made out of twine. So yeah.
All right. Oh,
good Christmas.
Good.
But yeah, I mean, other than Christmas, nothing else has been happening. So
no, I know what you mean.
Yeah, just lots of food, lots of drink, lots of heartburn, lots of turkey. So I'll just say for the mug.
For the mug. Thank you.
Next up is Vante on to me.
Well, how the blazes are you, and what have you been up to over the Christmas period?
Knackered and sleeping mostly.
Okay. Did you eat lots of turkey, or were you turkey-free this year?
We actually went over to the in-laws on the 23rd, the Saturday, and they served us turkey. But thankfully we weren't having turkey ourselves, so we had a lovely turkey, full-on proper traditional Christmas dinner on Christmas Eve. So we got our fill of turkey then. And then for Christmas Day we had duck and pork.
Oh.
So that was 2.5 kilos
asked,
of duck
what would you like?
4 kilos of pork.
I wasn't given any duck, but no, I've not had any duck for Christmas. No.
Oh, it was delicious. We had to cook it slightly longer than they claimed, but it came out really well.
I've got to try duck in the air fryer. Apparently, it's really good.
Yeah,
we would have needed a bigger air fryer to do that. It was quite some duck.
I thought about duck, but we'd overdosed on it before Christmas.
Yeah, I often think the air fryers I've seen don't have air fryer compartments that are big enough for wide things. They seem to have two small compartments.
No, I've got one that you separate the center piece and you have one massive compartment. You can fit like 2 chickens in it.
We have the dual blaze, which is the biggest of them. So plenty of room in that for most things.
It's a duck can't fit.
No, the duck can't fit. That's the problem.
Yes, doesn't fit.
In its own. Never mind, less fat, more fat when it comes to duck. Just immersed in its own fat.
No.
So,
it's the juices that come off that make the gravy that make it worth it.
Litho, other than that, have you got an opinion on zombies versus chestbursters versus what's going on?
It's a card game, isn't it? Zombies versus chestbursters.
It is, yes.
My opinion is that one way or another we are almost certainly screwed. But it's going to be great fun to watch.
Yeah, who is that hero we need? Is it Flossie, Are we going to have to send Flossie out to a war zone with a pan and just say, naughty Thargoids, clang, clang, naughty Thargoids,
Well, as long as it's ground combat, we can rely on her. Just don't stand in front of her. But other than that, you can totally rely on her.
Maybe.
Oh, we can. You're great in ground combat. Just make sure that Rampage isn't in front of you and it's not a problem.
Well, the enemies can.
I've confused you,
Oh,
Flossie.
that was clever.
That bit's all RH. Anyway, sorry, Flossie. I'm multitasking.
Yeah. All right, did all the colouring, and he goes and puts it all blue again.
That bit's all RH. Anyway, I'm multitasking and offending Flossie. So I didn't mean. I thought I'd indicate Flossie. Yes.
Oh, I see. I thought that was it.
So, don't mind us. There's things happening behind the curtain. So other than that, Litho, anything else to report?
Not really. I got home from working crazy hard and relaxed, and my body said ow and fell over. So I've done quite a lot of sleeping in the last few days. And I'm back to it on January the 3rd at 3:30 in the morning when the taxi arrives. So I won't be here for next week's show. Seattle.
Well, I suppose I would say that.
For 2 days.
Not been to Seattle. What? There's not even time to get over the jet lag.
No. I fly out Wednesday morning. I get in Wednesday mid-afternoon. So it's going to be a long day. I'm in meetings all day Thursday, meeting all day Friday, flying back Saturday.
So are you going to take 24 hours beforehand to set your body clock to Mitre and Hollow time, and then just watch the sun whizzing across the sky for 2 days?
I'm just going to sleep on the plane twice, I think, for extended periods of time. Thankfully, I get a comfy chair, so...
Spanish Inquisition?
Didn't expect that.
No.
They don't quite put us in the ones that turn into beds, but they do give us comfy seats, so it's not too bad when you're
that's not too
America.
bad then, yeah. Don't do what I do and have to try and sort of get a middle seat of a set of 3 in the hopes that nobody will get the ones either side to you and then sleep across 3 tiny little seats on American Airlines. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not fun.
American Airlines. Can I get a glass of water, please? Yeah, it's in the back. Oh, right. Cheers. Yeah.
Yeah, just drink from the tap in the toilet. You'll be fine. Yeah,
just take an Apex. It's much more fun.
Fine.
Yeah, but take an Apex. Yeah, up to orbit and down again at speed. You'll be fine.
Probably be quicker as well.
Yeah. Well, not with the pilot's
14 hours of travel I'm doing.
Yeah.
Fair point. Not with the pilot Flossie had the other week.
Well, I'm stuck in a ring. I'm still stuck in a ring. I'm still stuck in a ring. Yeah.
It's nice, this ring.
Yes. It rings a bell.
I thought it was there forever.
Is that what Recover to Orbit does when you go back to the old version of the game and they don't have taxis anymore?
I think it needs an escape pod like you have in the stations.
Yeah, it could be useful.
And I'm willing to bet there's at least most of the listeners here who've not tried the escape pods in stations. Or is it? They are in
fleet
carriers. Sorry, yes.
Yeah.
If you hunt around your fleet carrier, you can find an escape pod. Go click on it. Mm-hmm. Trust me. Especially if you've got bounties.
Trust you, really.
Well, it's quite a nice little sequence.
Yeah, I actually haven't done it.
Don't blame me for that advice, okay?
Yeah, right.
Right.
A bit like the gin and the milk earlier. Definitely not worth listening to any advice given out on this show.
No, do not listen to any advice given out on this show. Well, thank you very much, Commander Lithobreaker.
Yep, that's it for the mug for me. So next is Chicks to Flossie.
So, Flossie, you had your chicken. Did you get anything else nice for Christmas?
Oh, did I get anything else? Well, Robbie and I got something for each other because it was a bit expensive, a bit special. We got a, what do you call it?
Oh, yeah. We got one of those.
Revitive for achy legs and things. And it's, have you seen them advertised on TV?
Nope.
My mum's got one. It makes her legs jump up and down.
Yeah, it just makes you.
What do you do? Rub
you
it
have this sort of platform. You put your feet on this bare feet on this platform, and you plug it in, and it sends sort of pulses up your legs.
It's a TENS machine.
And it makes your legs move. It makes you rock. It causes you to rock this platform.
Shock therapy.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's good for bad circulation. And I get a lot of cramp and achy legs, so we thought we'd try it for that.
Just don't put it under your pillow.
No. So, we got a basic one, and then you sort of found out more about it and thought, we'll get the next one because it's, it's a better one. So I sent the other one back and got a new one. And then after we got this new one, he thought, we should have gone for the top one because it has like a coach. It works off your iPhone and stuff. So we sent that one back and got another one, which came today. No, I was just using it earlier when when we were talking in the green room, and when I think I'd finished before I was talking.
I wondered what that tingling was coming across the decks.
Yeah. So I had
imagine being on the Amazon help desk going.
I had a 30-minute session while we were talking. So hopefully it'll help me restless legs as well, because I get terrible restless legs.
I know Robbie's so fed up with you kicking him under the table all the time.
I used to work with a guy, and you'd be sat in a meeting with him, and he had this, when he talked, like some people have to click a pen, and I need to break the fingers. Well, he used to bounce his leg up and down. And in the sort of temporary accommodation that we were always in, the whole room, he finally got into a sort of harmonic with the room, and the bloody walls are moving as this guy bounced his leg up and down. And we're going, what the fuck's going on? It's like we're having an earthquake or something.
Yeah, where are your hands? Are they above the table? Yes.
I know that feeling.
He had no clue he was doing it.
No. But, I move my legs a hell of a lot. And I think I've just got used to seeing me doing it now and it doesn't bother. But, I just got to move them. I can't help it. So I'm hoping that this thing will sort them out. Apart from that, not a lot really. I didn't really play any Elite, perhaps logging in for my arcs every day.
Well, there were no CGs.
No CGs, no.
Yeah, I noticed a few people logging in and just logging out a minute later.
I was asked to go and work in Colonia, but I never got a chance. So, that's a fairly quiet week, really. So I shall say for the mug.
For the mug.
For the mug. And that leaves us with... okay, who did the... Amelia? Yes, Amelia.
Amelia.
I think. Amelia. You have to interrogate Aidan. Get the bright lamp.
Hello, Aidan.
Hello.
How are you?
Mildly tired, but other than that, fine.
Have you had a good Christmas?
Yeah, it has been. I was down visiting.
Flossie's on
Mum.
on the machine.
What's that?
No, it's not. Don't worry.
It's not me.
Oh, you sure?
But yeah, no, I was visiting Mum, and I had to come. I had to come back because I'm going into the office. Come back to London because I'm going into the office tomorrow.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, well, this is the way of things. I tried to get the whole week off, but...
See, it's a testament to how hard you work. They need you.
No, it's more because one of my colleagues basically put in his leave beforehand and did the same thing he did last year. Put his leave in well beforehand and didn't even say, look, try and do the whole. We're working in a team. I had Christmas last year. Why don't you have Christmas this year? Thing.
Ah, right. Well, that's not good. But you had the main days off, though, right?
Yes, but I would have been in the office all week had I not basically gone. Wait, what? No, I was under the impression we were going to discuss this, and he's already thrown his leave in. At which point I said to my boss, "Yeah, it's the first Christmas since my dad passed away.
Mm-hmm.
This could, me not being there for a couple of extra days might be problematic, or I might get a little upset."
Yeah.
But he, being the sensible boss that he is, took the hint and went, right, I'll sort this. So in the end, I'm coming in for, I'm just doing tomorrow.
Okay. Are you got New Year off?
Yeah, I will. Well, I'm going back down again on Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
and then I will be coming back up on New Year's Day.
Okay.
Because, well, one way or another, I've got to be in the office on the 2nd.
Right.
At the moment, it's just me, because Evil Knievel decided to have an argument with the side of the pavement.
Evil Knievel.
My co-worker went flying over the handlebars and did his shoulder in.
Ouch. That's not
Yep.
good.
No, and it's been off since practically, mid-November, late November.
So, work kerfuffle aside, did you get what you wanted from Santa?
Good question. I don't actually know what I wanted from Santa, to be honest.
No?
And it's pretty much, I just go, most of the stuff I want, I've got. I'm very much a bloke in that regard.
You see, you want, you have kind of thing.
Or, yeah, it's the see, want, it's a bit out of my price range, okay, I'll have to save up for that. It's not quite Christmas presenty. Or rather, it's a bit more money than your standard Christmas present.
Right. So, what did you do? Did you put some money aside or something for something you wanted?
Well, for me, I'm guessing a small chunk of cash from the parental that will be going towards, some of it will be going towards useful things. Other bits of it will be going towards things that will keep me going, like a holiday.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, how was your? I know you said you have
turkey. Lots of bloody turkey.
Yes, we had goose. So which was
nice. I love goose. Goose. Did you take the fat pocket out of it and use it on the roasties?
Yes, very much.
That's the best thing about the goose is the fat pocket, and you just it's so good.
Oh yeah, we had some very nice roasties.
Nice.
We did them in the goose fat.
Oh wow, lovely. Was it a big one?
I don't know, because it had all been shredded by the time I got to the, shredded and put together on a plate by the time I got to the table.
Did you get a lot of it?
I got a decent chunk. But yes,
then it must have been a big one.
Mild degree of confusion about what time people were turning up. So we were running late, and I was going, it'll be fine. I've got time before people turn up, and then people turned up an hour before I was expecting them, and I went, shit, I need to actually look respectable, and I need to go and have a shower.
So as people were turning up, you were panicking?
Well, not necessarily panicking, more going, okay, I need to scoot from my room to, 2 doors down to where the decent shower is, and quietly and quickly have a shower and try not to get burnt when people turn the cold tap on.
Did you get burnt?
No, I managed to avoid that fate, thank God. But still, it was a warmer than I was, warmer than I normally go for variety of showers.
Lots of steam, almost a sauna type.
Almost, yes.
Shower.
Yes, and then on the way back, I almost made it, and then and the quote from one of the people turning up. Oh, you weren't joking when you were saying you were behind schedule, because they spotted me slinking from the shower room back to my room and shutting the door.
Well, at least you weren't running naked that length.
No, I wouldn't do that, because it's not really me, and also just I had towels, so I was fine.
Yeah, never go out without your towel.
Yeah, don't ever.
Yeah, exactly.
You always got to know where your towel is.
Yes.
Yes.
It's very important.
Is a very valid very, very life lesson learnt by all sorts of luminaries, fortunately, I've yet to be in a position where I've gone, shit, don't have a towel. But, I'm still, I'm,
I mean,
I'm
Vogon
still
Destructor
alive, so-
Fleets aside.
Vogon Destructor Fleets aside, although I think even Mr. Dent managed to get a towel, take a towel with him when the Vogons turned up.
Yes, he did.
But other than that,
that,
I shall. I've not really been doing much in game other than turning up and collecting my free arcs.
Mhm.
Although I didn't do all of them, I did some.
I did.
I did a little bit of the CG towards the beginning of the month.
Mhm.
Other than that, nothing really. I've just been playing Stellaris.
Stellaris. Oh wow, strategy. 4X strategy, if I remember right.
Yep.
Do you have all the expansions?
Yes.
Because there's a lot of them.
Oh, there are more than a few. Some are better than others. Some are fun because of the setup and the idea, and others, they're nice. The one I went, ooh, I'm buying that straight off, was the Necroids one, which was you get to play a race of necrophages. So it's what happens? People get uplifted into being a better form of being. This uplifting generally being they go into a temple, they get ascended by being introduced to a strand of necrophage, and they come out the other side a better uplifted person. A proper person as far as the Empire is concerned. Okay, other empires tend to go, hang on a sec, what? No, that's you're randomly, you are mysteriously disappearing people of our race, and they stop being our race and end up being yours. What's going on here? So yes, you end up with mild diplomatic problems of the, yes, you're just sort of, people of our race turn, you've got some people of our race in your empire, and they just, cousin Johnny just sort of mysteriously disappeared a couple of weeks ago. At last he was heard, he was near a temple of ascension and had managed to get a job there. We didn't hear from him after that. Nothing, do you know what happened? Oh no, I think he must be, deeply involved in his job. Nothing to worry about here, friend citizen. Move along. Psst, lads.
So you're enjoying that then?
Yeah.
It is a good game.
Oh yes, you can kill days with it.
Oh yes.
But other than that, nothing. I was going to drop you a text, Dave, because I was by Southampton Airport earlier on. Then I went, no, hang on a sec. It's Thursday evening. He's probably going to be rushing around like a blue-ass fly trying to write the script.
That and driving mother home, yes.
So I
mean, you're still always welcome, but yes, I might have been a bit distracted.
Yes. On the flip side, I mean, would you be of a mind for, as I am going to be coming through Eastleigh on Saturday, as it were?
Oh, absolutely. Swing by. Stay if you want to, yes.
No, I'm back to see Mum, and we are off to the New Year's Eve thing at the club on Sunday. But I would be, more than happy to pitch up and go to some variety of drinking establishment and force a pint on you.
Oh, that sounds splendid to me. I know a particularly good thatched place that does a mighty ale.
Well, I will. In that case, I will drop you a text either tomorrow or early on Saturday, and you can let me know what time is useful for you.
Easy going here. But yes, drop me a message. Drop me a message.
Okay, and other than that, really, I has nothing more, other than hail Alvin and for the mug.
For the mug.
For the mug.
For the mug.
Well, thank you very much to our guests and to everybody. I mean, it's nice to have a chat with the community occasionally, especially over Christmas, and find out how everybody is. Now, while we've been doing that, I did ask Dustee Bot one more question. And I asked Dustee Bot to summarise the game of Settlements and Scavengers from earlier, which has been pasted into the script and colorised by Flossie specially. So to round off the show, as it's a special sort of post-Christmas, pre-New Year's show, the very last thing will be to summarise the game from earlier, if nobody minds. If they do, I'll just read it myself. So we did play a game of Settlements and Scavengers earlier, which is a bit like Dungeons and Dragons, but with no dungeons and no dragons. It was the Hutton Radio crew on a rollicking space adventure with dice. The team was Commander Buzz Laserhands McThruster, which was Amelia. Apparently a spirited pilot with a flair for the dramatic. Her asteroid fragment dice set is the envy of the crew. We had engineer Wrench Wriggler, brackets Litho Breaker, a genius at rigging and jury rigging with a habit of turning anything into a gadget. His dice rolling contraption is as ingenious as it is unpredictable. We had Explorer Starla Maps Mackenzie, Chicks, who possesses an almost supernatural sense of direction even in the vast unknown. His vintage dice are steeped in history and mystique. I didn't write a word of this, by the way. Negotiator Sly Silvertongue Cooper, brackets Flossie, this smooth-talking diplomat who can charm her way through any situation. Her so-called lucky dice are a source of constant debate. The objective was to secure the legendary Starlight Beacon from the silent enclave on the alien planet Krylon 4. Over to you, Amelia.
You
got the script bit?
No, hold on.
End of the script. Keep scrolling.
Game start. Buzz rolls a 15 for a stylish landing, but overshoots, leading to an awkward crash landing that sets off SRV alarms across the settlement. Wrench rolls a 3 for equipment check. Half his tools are missing, probably pawned for snack credits.
Entering the silent enclave. Starla rolls a critical 20 for navigation, finding a secret path, but also accidentally discovering a hidden colony of alien space hamsters. Sly attempts to charm the hamsters, but rolls a 2, getting bitten and spending the next 10 minutes insisting she's fine while hopping around in pain.
Chicks, this is your bit. He's run away. He's hiding. Well, if Chicks was here, he'd be talking about encountering the scavengers. Buzz apparently tried intimidation and rolled a 5, resulting in her tripping over her words and accidentally complimenting the scavengers' outfits. Wrench attempted to build a gadget to impress them, but rolls a 4, accidentally creating a glitter bomb that covers everyone in shiny sparkles.
Finding the beacon. Starla rolls a 17 to decode ancient symbols, but interprets them as a recipe for an exotic cocktail instead of directions. Sly attempts to use her smooth talk to activate the beacon, but rolls a 1, serenading it with an off-key song, much to the team's embarrassment.
Traps and puzzles. Buzz, feeling confident, rolls a 14 to navigate traps, stylishly backflipping over a laser grid, but landing face first into a pie trap. Wrench rolls a 19 to dismantle the puzzle, but it turns out to be a vending machine, dispensing snacks everywhere.
The Great Escape. As defense mechanisms activate, Buzz rolls an 18 for a daring escape, piloting their ship with one hand while holding his spilled lunch with the other. The rest of the team rolls for quick boarding. Wrench with a 16, Starla with a 12, distracted by the hamsters, and Sly with a 7, still singing to the beacon.
Conclusion. The team narrowly escapes with the Starlight Beacon in tow and covered in glitter, pie remnants and snack crumbs. Back at Hutton Orbital, they're celebrated as heroes, albeit slightly clumsier and more eccentric ones. Plans for their next misadventure are already underway, with promises of less singing and more attention to landing techniques.
Now, you can't tell me that the Hutton Dustee Bot wasn't listening to the show. It's got pocket snacks, it's got hamsters, it's got crashes, it's got bad singing.
We need to get that game onto Kickstarter. I'll buy it.
We certainly do. Settlements and Scavengers coming to a Hutton Orbital games room near you soon. Brackets trademark. I thought that was a fairly good coda to the show this evening. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us and for the extended show, a Green Room post-Christmas, pre-New Year show. We will be back officially next Thursday, but without Litho. I'll still be here, I would imagine. And I may well do an impromptu New Year's Eve show, so keep your eyes out. If you're on your own or got nothing else to do and aren't partying too hard, do feel free to come and join me. If I do one of those, I will put details up on the Hutton Facebook page and Twitter and all those kind of bits if I do that. Other than that, this is your 1 minute warning. Who's got the klaxon?
Hold on, I think I have a better for the mug this evening rather than a big shouty one.
Oh, do you?
Yes. Hold on. One
do we have to
second.
give a warning first, though?
No, this won't be loud.
Oh, okay.
This won't be loud. Mooncake, say for the mug, and we'll go get you some num nums. Go on, num nums for the mug. There you go. For the mug.
That was probably the most adorable for the mug we've had. Night.
We do have a klaxon suitable for that one, though.
Do we?
Meow. For the mug.
For the mug, everybody.
For the mug.
See you next week.
For the mug.
Right, I gotta go feed her now. I'll be right back.
Cargo too small. Profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We're taking anything, anytime, anywhere. Loading all the teen out to the brim with the rest for the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, everybody sing the trucker song. Flossie always seems to crash into the sun. Skibble lies the pilot on the Xbox One. Alvin at the free, you know he leads us well. Trucking across the galaxy, now everybody out. For the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the more, for the more, for the more. You know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. So give me a large path that I can land on. and I'll give you cargo and sing you my song. 0.22 light years to go, cruising to no journey too long, no cargo too small. The profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We're taking anything, anytime, anywhere. So shout it out loud, like you don't even care. For the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more. Everybody sing the Hutton Truckers song. For the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more. Everybody sing the Hutton Truckers song.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the show. Everyone's buggered off now, so why don't you bugger off too?
Put it in a burger for the vegans.